All right, it's time now for Better Pets. You know, this week is National Pet Poison Prevention Week. I didn't even realize they had a week for this. And you might not have known, but there are a lot of foods that we enjoy that can be dangerous to our cats and dogs.
Yes, like chocolate. We know that one.
Yeah, I know exactly. That one I know.
Pet expert Haylee Bergelend from dailypaws.com has some important information that you need to know to keep your pet happy and healthy. Welcome.
Some really common pet poisons that we tend to kind of forget are things like caffeine. That's one that many pet owners don't really realize, and there's a lot of products that actually have a substantial amount of caffeine in them. Obviously, you know, your coffee, soda, those types of things, but there's actually food products that contain caffeine, such as, you know, like the exercise bars that you eat before you're gonna have a big workout, those types of things. So those can be really detrimental to, you know, a dog or a cat if they were to consume it. Xylitol, which is a weird sounding word, but it's actually something that shows up in a lot of products. So you can find xylitol in certain kinds of candies, gum. Oddly, sometimes it shows up in certain brands of peanut butter. That is actually really toxic to dogs and cats. We see most often the issue with dogs because, you know, dogs are more likely to kind of chow down on things that they probably shouldn't. So I generally advise people to, you know, check your peanut butter labels, check the candies and products that you have around your house. Make sure it doesn't contain xylitol because that is a really quite poisonous ingredient. Some other ones, nuts, especially like macadamia nuts. There really aren't any that are safe. Ones that people often know, and it tends to be something that they roll so quickly on the ground and then it presents a problem, are grapes. So grapes and raisins are both really toxic to dogs. It kind of comes down to the amount that they eat, of course, but you generally do not want to let your dog or your cat have any access to grapes or raisins. Those are a big common one. Seems like most pet owners recognize that chocolate is really unsafe. And again, it kind of comes down to how much your pet consumes and the type that it is. The cocoa content in it makes a big difference, but again, it's something that we don't want our dogs or cats to ever consume. And then a lot of types of fruits. So some fruits are totally fine for your, your dog. My dogs, for instance, love bananas and apples, and those are great. However, fruits that have pits, so like peaches or apricots, those pits actually contain some small trace amounts of cyanide in them, interestingly. And obviously that is quite poisonous. If your pet was to consume something like that, your best bet is to first call your veterinarian, let them know exactly what they consumed, if you can give them how much, the content in it. So like for instance for chocolate, if you have the wrapper and you can tell them what kind of chocolate it was, how much cocoa content it is, all that is great information that your vet can use to determine what the next steps are.
All right, Haylee says if your pet suddenly stops eating, acts lethargic, or starts drinking excessive amounts of water, those could be signs that the pet has eaten something bad.
And you got to get on that. So for more great tips on caring for your pets, you can check out dailypaws.com. Daily Paws is published by the parent company of this television station, the Meredith Corporation.
I just learned something new today.